Hello everyone, this is Burak from Trading Channels, and this is the first video of the year. I wish you all a happy, prosperous, healthy, and peaceful new year. Without losing much time, as usual, let's have a look at our ESC mini contract initially. Right, this is what we have at the moment. So there are quite a few lines, just bear with me, just to explain where we are at right now. So at 4,130, around 30.35, we had this double resistance, that blue one and the red one, that red double resistance, that blue and red, and that was the spike to the upside during the last CPI. And then it didn't last long, and it was very different compared to the CPI of November. We crashed quite fast all the way to the golden bottom band. That was the uptrend that's been driving things since the October low. After that, we cleared this golden bottom band. That was the initial bearish, very bearish signal. So the first one was this. The second one was the break of that golden bottom band. And the final one was the red one. You can see here 1, 2, 3 touches on that red. And then we had 1, 2, 3 touches here. And then it was cleared, which is why we shorted ES. And actually, the purple supports break. You can see here that purple support was holding very clearly. And that was actually the much bigger confirmation that we're coming down to erase the CPI gains of November. And we cleared that purple support, back tested it twice, and we kept on coming down. And then at 3,915.20, we back tested it for the third time, 1, 2, 3 times. And we sold off pretty hard. It's either we erased all the CPI gains already. Let me have a look. I mean, I think there is a bit more downside because that's where it started. I mean, this is what it couldn't erase. So there is that 3,700 level, I think 770 level, 3,770, which actually it missed. So are we going to get there? Very hard to say. Are we going to get there before more upside? Let's have a look at that now. That green top band, that rail, may be the next resistance to push it down again. The black top band didn't really hold. The internals were really good, but the black top band is completely ignored at the close of Friday. So the last bit, the last few hours, we had. I mean, I may argue that that black top band is now cleared. So that is quite bullish, of course, for the short run. So 2 touches there, 2 touches here. That black channel to the downside is now broken. Clearly, that green top band is going to be the next potential target, also a potential resistance. That is going to be around 3,885 or so. We may see another dive towards 3,850, 45.50, or even touch that 40 level. And then after that, if it bounces off the black and then breaks to the upside, that green channel, then I think it's going to get to that 3,900, 920 level. However, if that green top band holds, we may break back into the black and touch that 3,770. So that is a very critical. Anything beyond 3,920, which is that purple resistance, is going to look very bullish again. The very bullish one, I mean, a really major break to the upside would be to clear that blue resistance that is basically originating from January last year. Okay, so that's like a 1 year, exactly 1 year resistance with 3 touches on it. And if we break that, which is going to be around 4,100 or so, that is basically the end of a huge bearish move. The next level which I would be watching is going to be the green top band for a gigantic bull flag, of course, but it remains to be seen if and when we get there, which is going to be 4,250. Then I think we may see some more downside. But first, let's have a look at, I'm going to focus on what we have at the moment in our hands. And yeah, that's what I explained now. Just one thing, there is a gap here from August, 4,225-ish, okay? That gap would get filled while it is touching that green top band eventually. So that is a long-term gap that is still open. Dow Jones, why I'm turning very bullish is basically what Dow Jones has been doing lately. This blue support zone, previous resistance that was broken and back tested, it got back tested again in October. And it was also the second touch on the golden gigantic bull flag that was later on broken at the fourth touch on the top band. So that was broken, back tested, and you can see how many back tests we had. 1, 2, 3, 4 back tests. This is the CPI November. So we may still get to that 32,500 to erase all those gains, which could happen while it is staying inside the purple. So the purple bottom band would be, if the purple top band holds, we may see one more big sell-off to erase the CPI gains of November, and then really big time rally again. The blue support, which is basically, it's not a channel, but you can see here that broken support got back tested and it held as resistance. That's why we sold off all the way to the golden support again. I think there may be one more down towards 32,500 if that purple top band holds, and that level is going to be 33,500. So we may get a 1,000 point sell-off if that purple top band holds, just to be on the cautious side. Clearly, there is some support here. I'm going to show you right there. Look, there is 3-touch support, horizontal support. Obviously, if that purple top band breaks, and if that purple top band holds, we're going to see the break off that golden support and come down. What is long term? It looks very bullish. As I said, this gigantic bull flag is broken, which is why Dow Jones is the most bullish of them all. NASDAQ is very depressed. Much less bullish than Dow Jones, obviously. And you can see this red uptrend was broken and back tested. The spike to the upside during the last CPI data release, it touched that golden resistance rail, and that was very clear. It didn't touch that red broken support for another back test. It came very close, these two, and you can see here that was a back test there. The purple support was extremely important, which was broken and got back tested, which is why we shorted NASDAQ. And we closed already with 300-400 ticks. And then, because the target was basically, as I explained on the ES and Dow Jones charts, this is the CPI gains of November, and it was completely erased during the last spike to the downside. And it was around 10,750-ish. And that's why I think we're going up now. Let's have a look at what we have at the moment. That purple resistance has to be broken for more upside, clearly. The red channel is broken. You can see here, that was a very nice channel to the downside. It was broken. The blue top band held. That is an internal resistance, which is now broken. That's why I think we may see NASDAQ to get to that 11,250 level, the blue plus purple resistance, and then come down one more time. Either way, anything beyond the purple resistance again, look at this. It has been extremely precise and extremely influential all the way down, all the way from June to today, actually, this month or in December. So it's been a very, very joyful ride trading around this, really. Look at that. Everything's beautiful here. So anything beyond that purple resistance, together with the blue, obviously would look very bullish. And if anything, any action breaking that golden resistance rail is, of course, going to look very bullish as well. But are we going to touch that purple bottom band at around 10,000? That is a very big question. I don't think it's going to do that, but yeah, that remains to be seen. If and when it gets there, I would be a buyer. Actually, that purple bottom band, I would be a buyer very happily. That is going to be just over 10,000. Russell is, let me put this into perspective, like a long term. Look at this. That purple support, okay, right there, it was broken, kind of back tested here, and then it was back tested there in the second quarter, and then finally in October, September and October. So it is that purple support separates the bulls and bears, and so far bulls have defended that purple support. The golden resistance, okay, I think that is the very, very significant one. Are we going to break that? Very hard to say. When we do that, it is going to be something. What happened here is these two spikes were both man-made, not market-made. So they were both either Jay Powell speaking or CPI gains, and that's why the golden resistance break was faked. The red resistance with 3 touches, if it breaks that golden resistance, which is going to be around 1850, and then break that, which is going to be around 1890 or so, that red resistance, that is when I think Russell is going to get to 2000 plus. But before that, let's have a look at the short term. Right here, this blue resistance rail is getting tested, was getting tested at the close of Friday. So we may see a break of that very, very quickly, maybe even at the open. I think it may break it, get to that green top band, and that is a speculative resistance at the moment. If it holds, we see a pullback maybe to the blue support, previous resistance, and then a break to the upside. Or it could come all the way to the green bottom band again from that green top band. So that is a very critical, I think it could turn into a sideways action if the green top band holds. It comes here, breaks it to the downside, obviously it's going to sell. But if it comes here, breaks it to the upside, so that rectangle action. I'm not saying it is a rectangle yet, but if it touches that 1800 level and reverses, that becomes a rectangle, like a sideways range, and then a break of it to upside or downside is going to dictate where the market is headed next. So obviously to the downside, there will be the purple support, okay? FTSE, to me, it is one of the most bullish markets, and let's have a look again on the longer term view. That golden resistance is at 7,600. This is 2018, 3-4 touches already, and if it can break that 7,600, I think it's going to get to new all-time highs around 8,000, 8,500, which is going to be the red top band initially. That's the minimum target. Anything beyond 7,600, I urge you to close shorts or whatever and buy into this 7,600, maybe 20, 50. That's where I think that golden resistance is going to be broken. So the low, you can see here, that golden support held at the low in October. And what we had after that is quite interesting. That red support, that was broken. So that red top band, okay, that red bottom band, it was broken after the touch on the golden support. It came for a back test. You can see that perfect back test came down and finally broke. And then it was back tested again. that held as support. So that line became support, and then resistance, and then support again. What do we have here in the shorter term? This blue resistance was broken, which explains why it shot up. And the green channel is a very nicely formed bull flag. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and the bottom band 2 touches there. Do we have a small gap? Yes. And the black bottom band is its potential support. If it gets to that level at around 7,375 or so, or 7,370, to fill the gap to touch that black bottom band, of course, it has to happen very quickly. To do that both together, I would love to see that, because then that gap fill and the black bottom band's touch is going to be a buy signal for me. I don't think it's going to happen though. I mean, it has to crash very quickly by Monday or Tuesday to get there very quickly, and then a rally. So hard to see it crashing all to that level very quickly. But if it does that, I'm going to be a buyer. Yes. DAX, a bit somewhat hard to read on the short term, but long term, again, look, that blue resistance break and then the green one broken, back tested, and it rallied with the CPI of November. Then it touched all the way to the green top band. So that of course that formed much later. I'm not saying it has formed, I saw it coming, but that green top band, when it reversed there, it got basically confirmed as a resistance, and we had this beautiful support. And when it broke to the downside, I said it's going to erase all these gains and it's going to come to that 13,700 level, and that's exactly what it did. It erased all the CPI gains of November, and massive bounce off that level to touch the blue support, the previous support zone. What do we have here is it just cleared this black bear flag to the downside, and it back tested it. This is where it closed on Friday, earlier than the US market. If it touches that golden bottom band, this is the first potential major support, I think. So that level is going to be around 13,750, and then maybe a bounce to break to the upside without making a new low below this low. If it touches that and gets to that golden top band and break it, that would of course become a bull flag. This is the post of the flag, and this is the flag itself. That is speculation at the moment. If that golden top band holds, that would become a support, and a break to the upside would become a bull flag breakout. Hard to say at the moment. It's just a speculation, but as I always say, my trading method is based on the price action. If this happens, I'm going to do this. If that happens, I'm going to do that. That kind of approach, not really telling where the market goes, but if the market goes to where it is basically telling me there is support, I'm going to buy that support, right? So obviously there could be also, this is what I check as well. So if there is any kind of a channel to the downside and it touches that golden bottom band and breaks out of that red, then I'm going to have more confidence to buy into that support level. Okay, let's have a look at the bond. This is a 30-year Treasury, US Treasury. That green gigantic channel is in control. That uptrend from 1980. Okay, that's over 40 years. The blue support that was broken, it got back tested. That is quite clear as a resistance. And of course, the red channel is, maybe it's a bull flag. I'm not saying it is. It has to be broken to the upside to say, yes, it's broken. So this is the spike to the downside. 2 touches there, maybe 2 touches here. I'm not saying, it's not really a very precise bull flag, is it? So if it gets to that red, comes back down, and then a break to the upside, that's where I think bond markets, basically the bearish days will be over, at least for a couple of months, maybe a year. TLT, that golden support held, and it was around 92, I think, when I posted this support. The blue support, okay, that blue support right there, this is a kind of an overshot, or I may even argue that it's going to get there eventually to the top band. Very hard to say. Of course, I'm not saying it is going to get there, but you can see these internal and the bottom band. You can see here perfect support that was broken together with the red support right there. That double support was broken, which got it all the way to the golden. And the back test has been extremely precise. Look at this. At 110, it touched the red plus blue double resistance. That's why we're coming down again. If and when it gets beyond this double resistance, which is going to be around what, 110.50, that is where I think it's going to start a major rally. Okay, and this is the 2-year, 10-year. Let me put this into the weekly to show you where we're at the moment. So that red top band, the bottom band, that's where we bounced. The blue broken support, okay, got back tested here, and then it moved beyond that resistance, but it still came down because of the golden downtrend and of course the green one. So it's not out of the downtrend yet, it's not out of the ditch, but it would look very positive if it can break that golden top band. So you can see 2 touches on the top, 2 touches on the bottom. That's where it's headed. I think it's going to get to that green top band if it can break that golden one. Okay, let's have a look at oil. Right, let me put this again on the long-term line. So the red, the golden and green, that was just over 70. Yeah, that you can see here, that golden, okay, 1, 2, 3 touches. The green one, again, like this, and the red one. That was the triple support, which I tweeted when it was touching. And it basically cleared the green veg after touching that triple support. Massive rally. And then finally, it cleared the purple resistance, which again, I've been watching that quite carefully. And since then, it's been pushing. And it just got out of this red bull flag. So let's put it on the 4-hourly chart right here. It's going to touch, so the black support that was broken and back tested 3 times, or actually 4 times right there. It may get to that level, I think next week. So that blue and black, that is going to be around 82.50, right? And of course, if it can clear that black resistance, then it's going to get to that 90 plus level, which is going to be the black top band. And ultimately, the red top band is going to be a major resistance, I believe. But it remains to be seen. That red top band, I will be watching very eagerly for a short entry. At the moment, the red, so I'm going to put it on the 2-hourly, this red bull flags breakout, looking very good. Yeah, the top band pulled back and rallied the bottom band. So this is a bull flag breakout, and we're going to get to that 82.50, I think. We are long Brent oil, and I just chose Brent for some reason. I think the breakout looked much nicer, and of course the touch, that golden plus blue double support touch, and of course the black one as well, that was also a triple support. And there was also a downwards channel right here, it broke to the upside, and that's why we bought. The black resistance with 1, 2, 3, 4 touches broke out, back tested, and we're still holding the long from, we initially bought from 77.20, closed around here, and then I bought it again at 80.80. I think we're going to get to that blue plus red double resistance, okay? That red one, together with the blue, that's going to be around 91. That's my target for this long position. And maybe it is also going to get to that red plus. I mean, that could be a triple resistance, which is where we can possibly short. I mean, exit the long position and short it and reverse it and short it. Yeah. So let's see. I think it's going to get there over the next couple of days. This is natgas. Let me put this again. In the long run, at $10, it reversed at the black top band. Okay, that's what I've been watching as very eagerly. There were some other resistance levels, of course, in more short-term channels, but more importantly, that black top band held, and from there it dropped 50% in a couple of weeks. Well, that was something, right? So everybody was expecting 12, 15, but no, there is so much natural gas everywhere. It just was blocked with some bottlenecks, but I think at some point it just opened, you know, the walls of the dam broke, and there was of course an uptrend. I deleted that uptrend from the lows of 2021, 2020. There was an uptrend there. It was broken to the upside, to the downside. What we had last week was this bounce off, so the blue top band, 4 touches, 1, 2, 3 touches on the bottom band. I bought this bounce. I thought it's going to get to that blue top band, and that's not what happened. It came, closed half of the long somewhere here, and then it closed the remaining. So it closed that position flat. Okay, I thought it was going to get there to fill this gigantic gap. That's not what happened. It basically cleared that blue support, okay, and it backtested that blue support 3 times before coming down to new lows. The green support is now, so the blue one got backtested, the green one is holding. If that green one breaks as well, you can see it has 1, 2, 3, 4 touches already. And of course, there is this golden kind of wedge at the moment. It's not really my favorite type of formation, but it would be my favorite if it gets to that red bottom band. This is the high, okay, the major high. The top band, the bottom band has only 1 touch. So if it gets to that red bottom band and we see a major bounce, of course I'm going to be a buyer. That is going to be just below 4. So that's basically 60% down from the August highs. Gold is, again, let's put this also in a little bit of more longer term. So that purple bull flag, right? It was broken to the downside. That was quite a worrying development for me, because it held 3 times here to 2 touches there, 4 touch, 1, 2, 3, 4th, even like 5th, and then broke it, and then got back tested. It came down here to put a triple bottom there, and then it broke back into the purple right there. So what was much more bullish was the red channels break. That was a gigantic bull flag, right? 1, 2, 3 touches, 2, 3 touches on the bottom. It broke at 1700, and of course it got to that black top band, reversed, which confirmed it as a potential bull flag, and later on that was broken too. So it is a very, very bullish picture now. I think ultimately it's going to get to that purple top band at $2,080. On the shorter term, the golden support is holding, and if it breaks that golden support, we may get to that green bottom band together with the red around 1800, just below 1800, maybe 1790 or so, if it does break that golden support, and then a rally to the upside. The most bullish thing that could happen to gold would be on the 4-hourly chart. I'm going to show you that green top band break. That 4 touches, it's an ascending resistance, and if it can break it to the upside, that is where I think gold is going to start a gigantic, big rally. Okay, and that would target $2,080. But are we going to have a pullback before that rally? That is very hard to answer at the moment, obviously. Silver, long term, this golden bottom band got tested at the end of the COVID crash, rallied, cleared this golden gigantic internal resistance, and then it got back tested right there. So it came back to the crime scene, right? Then it formed a few things. So this bull flag, right? I deleted that one. I had deleted that bull flag, was broken to the downside, and it's back inside that bull flag, okay? And it's more importantly, it's out of this green gigantic bull flag, right? Oops, sorry. That green top band held, and then it was broken, back tested. I think it's not going to go back into the green bull flag again for a very long time. The minimum target of this is going to be that here around $30. And the golden top band is also right about there. So that becomes a major resistance. That may become a major resistance. And so to me, $31 is the target, but it also is a major resistance potential. Platinum has made the most beautiful formations over the last couple of years, basically. And we are at a very, very interesting inflection point. So the blue bottom band with some damage held at the end of the COVID crash. And the blue top band was broken and back tested. It got back tested here right after the break, and then back tested 5 more times on that blue support right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It cleared the green bull flag, and it's now pushing against this red gigantic bull flag. Yeah, and it's right there at the golden, maybe that's speculative resistance. And if it can break one, I mean, this is a spot chart, spot platinum. If it can break, or I think if it can break 1080, the long-term target is going to be 1500. Yeah, that's my take. It's going to get to that 1600 in the coming months, years, maybe, depends. But that would be a gigantic breakout, and it's right there. Maybe we see a pullback and then a break, maybe, we don't know. But what happens next week is going to decide the next couple of months. Okay, let's have a look at forex. This video is getting very long, but yeah, I think it's worth it. The blue channels break to the upside, back test, deep back test, and then a rally. I'm not going to go into the very long term, okay? That black channel is broken, but it's not, it basically refuses to come down. I thought because the black channel is broken, at this we're going to get to that green bottom band. That's why I said euro topped, because of the break of the black, but it hasn't. So the last resort for the short term is this golden bottom band, sorry, top band. Touch that, come down, that golden support right here, and break to the downside. That is the last chance for a bearish reversal. And this here, this is the November CPI gains, and I thought it would have erased, like ES, like all the stocks, they would have, euro would have erased all these gains and then rally, but it actually hasn't done that at all. Pound sterling has a very critical picture here. Okay, so that golden top band is holding at the moment. The red support has been tested 5 times, and I thought it is going to break, so that's why I shorted it. But now I'm actually going to close it at 121. So that's going to be like we bought at 120.30, sorry, shorted at 120.30, thinking it's going to break, but it didn't. So that golden top band break, if it breaks at 121.05 or so, then I think it's going to get to that red resistance that has already 3 touches. So if it does break that, then I think there will be much more upside. So critical day, actually it's a day, because on Monday or even at the open, we may get stopped and I may buy pound sterling. I may actually reverse the trade because this here is a bull flag in the making. And I thought it would come down maybe to that golden bottom mat and then a break to the upside. So to form the bull flag properly, but we'll see. We'll see how it opens, and if it comes down to break that red, then the short will work. US dollar Japanese yen has this most gorgeous downtrend, that red one. This golden support broke this next golden support was broken and backtested 3 times while it was touching that red top band. And this is a very, very major downtrend that has been going on since October. Clearly, if it breaks to the upside, then yeah, the US dollar weakness is going to be over. I think we're going to see it for a couple of weeks or months even to get all the way to the 145, that minimum target. This is the CPI spike to the downside. It never got erased or gained back. We may gain back at 145 if the red top band eventually breaks. Clearly, the red bottom band may be tested before it rallies. So the red channel is the one you should watch. And every chart in this video is a log scale. And dismiss everything. Everybody just says log scale is useless. I think they are useless. Log scale is the real deal. Why I'm using log scale? Well, you have to read what log scale gives you as a perspective. And then if you don't understand, come and ask me. So the XY, that red uptrend is still in control. The red top band with 4 touches, that's the 4th touch which caused the reversal. And the wedge is broken, but it's basically touched a new low. Okay, so that wedge is no more. But the green plus golden could become a major to the double support. And that level is going to be around 102.50. That's the level I think it's going to start a big bounce. That is the last resort actually for US dollar. Otherwise, it could come down much harder to the level of 100. Okay, and that 100 is going to be a backtest of that gigantic bull flag that's been broken. So US dollar strength is caused by this breakout, and we may get a backtest at 100, and then after that we may see a bounce. So hard to say at the moment. Again, this double support, if it doesn't hold at 102.5, it may come down all the way to below 100. Aussie dollar is inside this gigantic red downtrend, and the short term, so long term, the blue top band is a speculative resistance. If it gets there, that is going to be around 69.50. On the short term, let's have a look at the 4-hourly chart. The green channel was broken, back tested several times, and then came down to break the golden resistance support as well. However, the blue channel formed and it was broken. So that bull flag formed and it got broken, which explains why it's rallying. The purple resistance, if it does break, I think it's going to get to that 69.50. That is the target. And it's basically pushing it, really. Kiwi is inside this gigantic downtrend, that red one as well, just like Aussie dollar. But this looks like a very beautiful bull flag. A very, very large bull flag that has formed since 2014. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to break it, but when it does break, that is going to be around 870. Yeah, that's 700 pips from here. But if it does break one day, yeah, that's going to be something. But I think it's very far from this. The green channel is broken to the upside, but the red one later on, so I'm going to show you where we are at. The red uptrend is broken, and the blue one is a bear flag, potential bear flag. Clearly, if it breaks to the downside, that will look bullish, sorry, bearish. But, I'm getting mixed signals from Kiwi. Okay, I may argue that the red channel is actually this one here, and it's still on, something like that, but hard to say. That's why when I'm not sure about the lines or about the precision or about this and that, I'm just don't do anything until something presents itself. That is, as a trader, your freedom. You pick your battles, you choose the low-hanging fruit through it, and that's what matters in trading. I don't have to play every game. I don't have to play every chart. I don't have to be right all the time. Okay, now let's have a look at the coins, and we finish from here. Okay, so here the red support is broken together with the green during the FTX scandal. It was looking very bullish while the red support was holding and the green channel was broken. That green bull flag was broken. And then the scumbag SBF did what it did, and the black support was broken to the downside, and together with the green. So it's still there. It's still nothing happening here. There is no buyers. There is no sellers either, to be honest. So it's just hanging in there. The black break off that golden small bear flag aims for a new low. So that's what we may see next. Ethereum is the same picture. Everything was looking quite positive after the break of the green bull flag and backtest, and then the black resistance was broken, while the black support, this triangle, was broken to the upside right there. But then FTX scandal came, and right now, I don't know. Right now, it has to break this black's resistance and keep on rallying. Anything beyond, I think anything beyond what, 1800 or 1650, that will look very positive, but it's very far from that level at the moment. And Zcash is off the red plus blue double support, but it didn't get to that red top band, so it's not really looking positive. Litecoin back tested the broken green support, held as resistance together with the red resistance 1, 2, 3, 4. The red bottom band may hold, but then after that, if it breaks, I think it's going to come to that golden bottom band, which is going to be around 27. Yeah, that sideways down channel on Litecoin is gigantic, and it may get there for a third touch. Doge is still looking inside the blue bull flag. That's a potential bull flag. It had broken that red and golden resistance, and it's been back testing that golden one since then. Okay, so, and it may test that red as well. Okay, and then anything beyond 10 cents, right? 10, 11 cents, that will look very bullish, but right now there is nothing like that. Matic looked extremely good since the break of the golden support. Of course, the veg breakout was a bearish signal, which I sent to everyone. The golden channel's break to the upside was looking very good. It tested that green support and held as resistance. What is disappointing? What is disappointing is the fact that the blue uptrend is broken, and the red support is broken right there. Okay, like that. This blue gigantic uptrend is broken, and the red one is broken. That's why I'm very skeptical about Matic. It looked very good. It looked much better than the others after this bounce, but it's now broken the blue channel. Clearly, if it grows back into the blue and breaks that 130 level, which is the green resistance, then I think it will look bullish, but at the moment, no. Shiba Inu was coming down, and I said this that golden support together with the red, that is where it's going to bounce. And exactly that's what it did. The golden top band, I said bull flag potential. Yes, it came down, and then it was broken, and then the FTX scandal came. So it's touching that blue support. The blue one is a small bull flag, and it's out of the golden gigantic bull flag. So, but Litecoin, Shiba Inu has to get to that blue top band, which is at 118 or so, and break it to the upside. At the moment, there is nothing suggesting that. I'm not going to do the others because they're all not really moving. Okay. Again, Happy New Year. Keep in touch. Trading Channels has a free trial for 10 days. Just take that and see if it is for you or not. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.